What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, welcoming you to episode 23 of the Toronto Huskies Connected Franchise Mode. Still a little bitter taste in our mouth after we finished the season 3-13, which is horrific. Last season was our first official year as an expansion franchise, and we almost pushed and won the AFC South. This year, we're bottom dwellers, and if you recall, I think we are the second worst team. We have the number 2 overall pick. Of course, it takes quite a good bit of talent to suck worse than the Browns do in this game. But we are now here just before the Super Bowl. But I want to do is I want to spend some XP real quick. We'll let the coach, the AI, just take control of it. I want to see what our roster's really at, especially when Sam Darnold and Richie James and maybe, a Jared Davis get their XP bumps. Where are we now sitting for our roster and looking to assess what we need to improve in the draft and in free agency. So after spending some of our XP here, we got Sam Darnold's up to an 82, Fournette's an 88. We got Allen Robinson. The wide receivers are looking decent. When you look at this roster right now, obviously the offensive line is a work in progress. They're young. Jokel's and these guys suck. Let's be honest. Leonard's the only guy that's really worth a damn. We invested a high pick last year in Ivy. He's up to a 77. I think that's a 1-point upgrade from, I think he was a 76. The left side needs to get better. The tight end looks all right. Check on the defensive side of the ball. Our safety play, Harvey Clemens has been absolutely incredible for us. Maybe not so much in terms of coverage, but when you actually play and take control of this defense, he's making tackles all over the place. Our linebacking core is not bad, but I really do think going in the draft, maybe getting our second corner. We do have, 2 young guys after Jalen Ramsey in Chidobe Awuzie and Adonis Alexander. Both those guys we've invested decent picks into. Well, the secondary could not stop a bloody nose. So I'm going to say, looking at this, safety is not completely written off. Swearinger's starting to get up there in age. But I'd say right outside linebacker, adding a thumper that can come in and contribute against the run. And second corner, whatever one of these positions is going to be higher would be best, and then the offensive line. Without further ado, let's just simulate here into the free agency period. Actually, we'll simulate one more week, see who wins the Super Bowl, then we'll go right into the free agency period. So in the Super Bowl, at least we have some solace in knowing that the OP sim favorite Chargers beat the Cowboys 35-33. Anytime the Dallas Cowboys do not win the Super Bowl in real life, and even in a Madden simulation, it's a great day. So hopefully this is the great start to the offseason that the Toronto Huskies really needed. All right, here we are at free agency. We got to get better. We got to get better. We have just shy of $40 million in salary cap to work with, which is enough that we should be able to add 2 pieces. Look at that. Starting out, right guard, Brendan Schreff. That's a guy that we definitely need to look at getting. Obviously, I don't want to give up on Martez I at the right guard spot, but we may be able just to swing him to the left guard. See, quarterback, we're all right. Running back, we're all right. Fullback, we're all right. Wide receiver, now we have decided not to retain Ty Montgomery. Maybe we can bring him back, but Allen Robinson and Richie James are the future. Allen Robinson has been our go-to guy. So I'm thinking maybe we get someone a little bit more dynamic. That's not that much. Looking at... Ooh. I remember we signed Brashad Perriman in the Philadelphia Eagles Connected Franchise Mode, and he went off. So let's offer a low-term deal here for the Speedster. Let's see if we can get him. He's going to probably... Look at that. He costs half as much as what we did and would have got from Ty Montgomery. We're fine at tight end. Left tackle, whatever. We're not going to be able to really improve this offensive line all in one go. Mitch Morse here at center is intriguing. We have Jonathan Harrison, who's 28 years old, 79 overall. 27 years old, 82 overall. But he's $23 million for his center. I don't think we have the type of money to allocate on getting 2 big splashes on the offensive line. But I think if we could somehow shrine, even Schreff or Mason, 88, 26. Schreff's the kind of guy, you probably could swing him to tackle. Everyone knows tackle's really important. Let's see what his kind of action is going to cost us to try to bring in Brendan Schreff here. Oh, that's not even that bad. $36 million. Oh, come on. Only a $6 million cap hit this season. That is not bad at all. We could probably try to splurge on Shaq Mason as well. I might come back to that because I'm visioning it. 6'5", 320. That you could play left tackle. That's a slightly undersized left tackle. You'd want him. Maybe not even undersized, depending on the size of his arm, the length of his arms. So we'll come back to Shaq Mason. I may double dip. We got Marcus Golden. We're fine. Defensive line, man. That's probably the strength of our team looking at it. But we need to get better against the run. Ooh. Eric Kendricks, Bernardrick, McKinney. Why is McKinney? Oh my God, McKinney costs a lot. I mean, we do need an outside linebacker, but I'm thinking maybe with Cameron Smith, he's not that bad. Look, he's developing there a little bit. Maybe we can swing him to one of the outside spots over PJ Dawson. Rackpo, we're fine there. Darby at the cornerback spot. Right now, that could be a decent upgrade. $26 million, though. That ain't cheap. We got Swearinger, Brian Poole. Wait, Brian Poole did not want to come back. So what I'm going to try to do here is I want to re-sign Brian Poole, and I'm going to probably let Swearinger go. I'm not sure what kind of cap hit we're going to hit on that. But, okay, that's intriguing. Do we want to try to bring in Ronald Darby? I brought him in since before, and I don't think he's done that well. He hasn't been exceptional. And that's not a cheap contract at all. But 83 overall, you know, pairing up. Was Darby? I think Darby was Florida State, too. Returning Florida State teammates. I mean, that could solve the problem there. Really, it's going to be, do we want to sign Ronald Darby? Okay, let's how about this? Let's throw some money at Shaq Mason, because drafting offensive linemen is never fun. So I think we could probably move Sheriff to a tackle spot, and then we can have Shaq Mason solid up one of those guard spots, unless they get to get into a bidding war here. I don't really want to pay him much more than $20 million a year. Let's try that. 26. And now we're coming at 85. That. 21 million? Can we get him with 21 million? They're tied, so 22 million should be able to get the price down. 3 years, $22 million. That's my final offer, and then look, we got that. There we go. So we got Shaq Mason. Let's simulate a week. We'll see what our cap situation is looking like. More so, if we get Brian Poole, we could probably let Swearinger go, and then we can see how we can try to manipulate the cap a little bit there. But improving the offensive line and the secondary is definitely the two biggest spots. But it's really tough to do all that in one offseason. So here we go. We got a bunch of guys here that we wanted. Let's go to the roster. How much of a hit will we take if we move on from DJ Swearinger? I know he's a big-time hitter, but we save over $3 million. I mean, that just makes sense there. So Swearinger is going to be gone. I'll take that. So now we have our clear starter. I mean, what do you call it's probably gone, which could suck. Darby, we still got $21 million in cap. Darby would be a great signing. Is he still there? Shit, he's gone. All right, so we need to kind of go to the second tier of corners, and there's no real upgrades that are going to be there. Yeah, kind of. Well, I'm not going to say kind of butcher that, because now at least we have a direction that we need to go in terms of the draft. Is any of the linebackers still there? Minter, it's not bad. I mean, there's a couple guys here. Okay, yeah, but we've done our business. All right, we got Sheriff. Let's hopefully it's not going to bite us in the ass. Let's make that position change right now, that we can slide him there to the left tackle. Maybe we can cut some of these offensive linemen. They're probably getting paid nice money. So we have an 80 overall. He has not got the jump judge. Okay, Schofield, Harrison. All right, so we're going to move Shaq Mason to the left guard spot, because we do not want to give up Martez Ivey. He needs to get those starting snaps to improve his overall. We all know Shaq Mason protecting for Tom Brady. He's a pass blocker. So we got 84, 79. Okay, so we have Linder there. Maybe Linder might be a better left tackle because he's a little bit longer, and then Sheriff could be a right tackle. He's still an 88, so looking excellent there. We have Jokel, 80. I mean, maybe we could still try to slide people around, try to make stuff, but I think this is going to be, there we go. That was a good sign there. Now our offensive line is looking pretty goddamn good. Jokel no longer needed here, but we take a bigger hit, keeping him on than not. So I think we did a good piece of business here. Now we also got Perriman out of the wide receiver course, so it's going to be Allen Robinson, Richie James. We have a combination, really, of just three burners. Everyone here is fast. We're going with speed. Maybe if we can add a possession guy in the draft, that'd be key. But I think we've done enough here to make another snap, at least not to be 3-13. Fournette up to an 88 overall. He's a monster. Look at that low awareness. Even if he had decent awareness, he'd be over in the 90s. All right, so the draft is about to conclude here. We're in the 7th round. We've traded a couple of our picks. I just wanted to sim here, just so know there's no shenanigans going on. Let's go to the end of the draft and take a look at our draft recap. Well, I think I found out the nice clickbait title that I can have for this video. This is the greatest draft class I have ever had. And coming off a 3-13 season with the Toronto Huskies, it's exactly what we needed. Now, of course, we always put a little bit of style into things. We always modify the players, make them real prospects. Before I get into Tinker, look at my draft class. I don't think, maybe someone that's a diehard that remembers some of the draft classes I've had might be able to come in. But I remember a year ago where we hit on a really, really deep wide receiver in the 7th round that would end up being, or 6th round, sorry, that ended up being Richie James. 76 overall, superstar development trait. Look at my draft class that I had this year. Now, we had an ass load of picks. We have been, if you may recall, before we jump into this, while we were the Jags, we traded away, some of our decent players, and we've accumulated a bunch of draft picks. And what I've been doing is kind of taking the trust the process approach, and, getting into rounds 3 to 5, around then, that's what I've been flipping picks for next future 2nd rounders, future 3rd rounders. So I've had a lot of draft picks, in the middle rounds. Let's look at my draft recap. Let's kill the anticipation. No one below a 70. No one. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I in the 7th round, I was worried. I know usually a kicker will give you at least a 70 overall, but also I want to add some competition for Zane Gonzalez. He hasn't been anything special. So in the 7th round, work our way down. The 7th round, we got Chance McKenzie, a kicker, normal dev trait, 72 overall. 6th round, we got Tyler Casas, middle linebacker, normal development trait. I mean, again, just adding more competition. I like the hit power and the block shedding. Plus 80 tackle. He had that B tackle. I had to, really kind of gamble on him. This guy here was a 7th round pick. I wasn't going to miss out on him. 5th round, 75 overall wide receiver, Zach Galvin. Another superstar development trait. 92 speed, 85 route running, 85 catching, 92 acceleration. Awareness is ass, too. So if his awareness gets up to like the low 70s after a year or two, he's going to be an 80 overall wide receiver. We got Dakota Light, the center here in the 5th round, 74 overall with quick development trait. Like I said, kind of takes some hits right now. Not very confident, but when he sees the rest of the draft class, he's going to be happy. We got at the 3rd round defensive tackle, Tavita Roby, 72 overall with normal development trait, 87 strength, 76 power move, 87 acceleration. Great athleticism here, which is exactly what we want. Center here, we got another one, Kane Stevenson, 76 overall in the 2nd round. Another guy kind of undersized, but at 6'5", a little bit longer. I'm probably going to move him into a guard spot. 85 strength, 84 run block, 84 pass block, and 78 impact. I mean, look, the awareness is super low. That awareness was even 65, which is somewhat common for some rookies. He'd be 80s, into the 80s. What's his dev trait there? Quick development trait as well. 2nd round, left outside linebacker, Javer Mebane, 76 overall. With normal development trait, 85 speed, 86 tackle, 82 block shed, 87 hit power, monster. Power moves and stuff like that a little bit low, but as long as he can just be a tackle machine and more so a cover guy at that 228 pounds, we need to get better everywhere. He's going to have a chance to start on this team. 2nd round again, Benjamin Dildine, right defensive end from Notre Dame, 72 overall with superstar developmental trait. Not too impressed with a bunch of stats. He doesn't fit our scheme so much, but I had a gut feeling he was going to have superstar development trait, and maybe, he either can slim down, or we can move him to defensive tackle. Either or, we should be able. 86 tackle, though, that's pretty damn good. We have 2nd round here, getting the backup quarterback, where we adding an RG3 Kirk Cousins. I sounded this quarterback, I thought, man, this guy's going to be, can't pass up him. 2nd round, 76 overall, quarterback from Alabama, Morgan Archambault. With normal development trait, decent stats. He's more of a mobile type quarterback. But just in case Darnold ever gets knocked out of the game, we need to make sure we have some solid depth back there. Maybe it spells the end, sadly, very sadly, for Brandon Allen. But, we need to get better everywhere on this team. It doesn't really matter. Even if we have a future quarterback, 82 overall Sam Darnold heading into his sophomore season, still adding another quarterback in case he goes down due to injury. And then with the 2nd round, look at this. We got, not the greatest of picks, but we got Henry Ives, the middle linebacker from Louisville. I wanted to get better at linebacker. I kind of see the linebacker position, especially for how we use it, somewhat fluid. If you're a middle linebacker, you can probably play outside, as long as you can cover. And this guy was very athletic, so we get Henry Ives here. Slow dev trait, which is not great, but he has the speed, the tackling that we need for a cover linebacker. He'll make a transition to an outside. And then the biggest position I need, I was so furious. I'm going to take a quick look at who the Browns took, because the Browns took the corner I wanted. But our 2nd guy was Ben Jameson, the corner from Miami. Took him with the 2nd pick, 79 overall. He only has normal development trait, but, height, weight, speed is what we want. 6'2", 200 pounds, 94 speed, 82 man, 83 zone. Really good. 91 press. This guy is going to be an absolute stud. The only thing that kind of sucks is his dev trait. But the guy that the Browns took with the number 1 pick at the cornerback spot, I said before the draft, that's the number 1 position I wanted to improve. Let's see if they're better. Are they any worse for wear? 78. All right, they got a 78 guy, Russell Christie, normal dev trait as well. Very similar to what we had, but it looks like actually our guy might be a little bit better. A little bit more well-rounded. So I think we're looking all right here. So that is the Huskies draft. That is, in my opinion, the greatest draft class that I have ever had. And I guess, again, we traded a bunch of picks in the 5th and 6th round to reload in future 4th rounds. I think actually I got 1 2nd-round pick for the last pick in the 3rd round. So the next couple drafts, we are going to have not, I don't think as many as, like, look at this. We pretty much dominate the 2nd round. And I'm not trying to come and say, like, oh my God, look at this guy. I had, like, I got all these guys in the 4th and 5th round. But Cassis, Galvin, Light, and Roby, all these guys here were projected to go in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. I just took them high because I had those picks, and I wasn't going to miss on them. I've had that too many times happen before, where I see a guy that's clearly going to be, 70 plus, and he's projected to go in the 5th round, and someone will fucking take him in the 3rd round. So I wasn't going to get bit by that today, and I understand I did have a bunch of 2nd-round picks, which is nice, always a good problem to have. But still, in terms of actual production, man, we got some unbelievable talent. I'm going to go do my thing, modify all these players' names and stuff like that, get some real prospects in here, and then we will end this episode as we get ready for the next season in the Toronto Huskies series. And we're back. Everyone has been sorted out, and now we have the complete 2018 draft class with real prospects. If you watch college football, some of these names should be familiar to you. If not, I'll try my best to explain them. We will start with, the Jets. We'll finish off with our Huskies. So the Jets, Nigel Warrior in the 1st round, pick 29, the free safety from Tennessee, 78 overall, comes with a normal development trait. Very, very good. Shows some similarities of Eric Berry. I don't think there's ever going to be a college safety. Really, it's like, when I think of college safeties, it goes Charles Woodson, Eric Berry, and then kind of everybody else. But Nigel Warrior, not only does he have a badass name, he's a big-time playmaker. We have Taylor Rapp here, the free safety from Washington. Another guy, pretty damn good, to be honest with you. Kind of in the Jason Sehorn realm. I'm pretty sure he played a little bit of corner for Washington. Bring back the white cornerback. Keep fighting the good fight. And then in the 5th round, they get Mike Juarez from UCLA. Very talented linebacker. Was projected to go higher. Maybe an injury late. Had him slip into the 5th round. But in terms of players they added, great draft from the Jets. But just double dipping on free safety. Some questions may need to be raised there. The Lions in the 1st round got Trey Lamar, the linebacker from Clemson. Kind of not looking great. 68 overall for a 1st round draft pick, but does have that superstar development trait, so maybe he'll be able to turn it around. The Green Bay Packers got Troy Dye, the very good middle linebacker from the University of Oregon. 77 overall with quick development trait. This guy is a tackle machine. Good height. Probably could still add a couple pounds there to bulk up for the pro level, but that will come with time. They also got a guy, John Rome. We didn't edit him, but still a good 2nd round pick. 75 overall offensive lineman. Jumping to the Carolina Panthers, they get Isaac Nauta, the tight end from Georgia. One of the top tight end prospects as college football has seen in quite some time. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Has done some very good things for the University of Georgia. The combination between him and Jacob Eason has been very dominant. So I assume they brought in Nauta here, who has the superstar development trait to replace G-Reg with his 3rd leg, Greg Olsen. Looking at the New England Patriots, why wouldn't they hit with the first round pick 11? They got Trayveon Williams, the running back from Texas A&M, 81 overall. He comes with normal development trait, but I'm sure Bill Belichick will tap in and find some sort of superstar trait in him. But great pick there for the Patriots. The Oakland Raiders got Caden Smith, the debatably number 2 tight end after Isaac Nauta, with pick 24 from Stanford. Stanford is kind of emerging as tight end university. 74 overall tight end here with quick development trait. They also got a nice left tackle here. Didn't edit him, but Adrian Swisham, left tackle from Clemson, 73 overall. Jumping to the Rams, they got Rashan Gary, 78 overall, has that superstar development trade. Really surprised that he slipped to the 25th pick. The defensive line, that's probably the strength of this year's draft class in real life, and Gary slipping all the way to 25. That is an absolute steal for the Rams. Looking like they might have traded up a bunch of picks to try to get that once they saw Rashan Gary slip. Rashan Gary and Aaron Donald on the same line. That is goddamn terrifying. They also had a nice little 6th round pick here, Devion Cherry. 71 overall. Jumping to the Baltimore Ravens, they got Dexter Lawrence at pick 4 in the 1st round. 83 overall. Has normal development trait, but Dexter Lawrence, Rashan Gary, and another player that we'll see. Those are the big 3. Those guys are 3 superstars, and when this draft class happens, if all these guys still remain, it is going to be, one for the ages in terms of defensive line. They also had a nice little wide receiver here. We didn't edit him. Sasha Pointer in the 2nd round, 76 overall. Got a 71 wide receiver in the 4th round, a 71 overall safety in the 5th round. We all know the Baltimore Ravens usually draft fairly well, but another home run. And Dexter Lawrence middling up that defense with Brandon Williams getting up there in age. That's a great pick. Look at the Washington Redskins. They got Tyrie Cleveland, the wide receiver from the Florida Gators. We do know, even though I'm an Eagle fan and I hate the Redskins, they do treat my Gators well and like to draft them. Jordan Reed, Matt Jones, etc. But that is a great pick there. Tyrie Cleveland, good separation downfield and has some solid hands on him. They also got Devwall Whaley, the running back from Arkansas. Kind of slipped a little bit into the third round. Is one of the top running backs of this draft class, top 5, I would say. Grid value pick here for the Washington Redskins. Jumping to the New Orleans Saints, they got Brady Breeze, the strong safety from the University of Oregon, 78 overall. Comes with superstar development trait. Mother of God, he's a very good safety. Oregon finally starting to sort things out on the defensive side of the ball, and he is the leader of that defense. I guess we didn't check what Tyrie Cleveland's dev trait was. Normal, nothing special there. What about Whaley? Whaley got normal. Okay, so yeah, we didn't really miss much there. Went on to the Seattle Seahawks. They get Ahmmon Richards, the wide receiver from the University of Miami with the 10th pick of the first round. 76 overall. Has a quick development trait. This guy is a great burner with that 87 catching. If Doug Baldwin, man, again, another guy getting up there in age, definitely will be a big playmaker there for Russell Wilson. And also hit in the 7th round, get a 70 overall corner. That's a good value pickup right there. Looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers with the first pick of the 15th round, they got Jawan Taylor, the left tackle from Florida, 75 overall with normal development trait. Big old mama, look at that, almost 340 pounds. Might transition to a right tackle. In the second round, they got Deondre Francois, the quarterback from Florida State, 72 overall with normal development trait. 74 overall with his confidence and the scheme fit, so that's not a bad pick at all there. Good value for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who probably are looking for Ben Roethlisberger's replacement. And then the 7th round, they got a 74 overall tight end, Derek Barron. Wish we could have added him in our draft class because I could have used a better tight end. But that's a good value pick there. Looking at the Houston Texans, they get Levante Taylor, the corner from Florida State, 78 overall with normal development trait. I mean, they needed to get younger in that secondary there. They lost A.J. Boye, Jonathan Joseph must be old. So to pair someone with Kevin Johnson, who actually, on the top of my head, might have been a free agent. They might have lost him. They definitely need to reload back there. And then they got Isaiah Simmons, the free safety from Clemson, 76 overall, with slow development trait below that size, 6'3", 220, height, weight, speed type player, 92 speed as well. This guy's going to be a big-time playmaker for Mike Vrabel's defense there. They also get a 73 guard in the 4th round, a 70 guard in the 5th round, so a good solid draft here for the Houston Texans. Going to the Tennessee Titans with the first round pick 16. They got debatably, again, like it's really Isaac Nauta and everyone else for tight ends. Devin Asiai from Michigan, 78 overall. Predominantly a blocking tight end, 6'3", 270. But can get it all done, 78 overall. We all know how Tennessee likes to utilize their tight ends. Marcus Mariota still there. So yeah, there we go. Nice little tight end pick up there. And then left tackle, 71 in the 5th round. A center, 71 in the 5th round. So a good 5th round there from the Titans for a decent draft. Minnesota Vikings with their first pick in the first round, pick 21. They got Ben Bredesen, the tackle from the University of Michigan, right tackle, 75 overall. He comes with a normal development trait, big mauler, good against the run, exactly kind of the mold of an offensive lineman that historically the Minnesota Vikings have gone after. And then the 7th round, they get a 70 overall corner. Good late value cornerback pickups here in this year's draft class. Looking at the Bears at pick 18, they got Clelin Ferrell, the defensive end from Clemson, 79 overall. This guy is a beast with normal development trait. Kind of on the outside looking in when you're talking about the big defensive linemen. You got Dexter Lawrence, you got Rashan Gary, you got a guy we're going to talk about, but he is definitely no slouch whatsoever. There's a good pickup there for the Bears. They also got a 76 overall tight end, didn't modify him at all, Sean Luke from UCLA. That's good, man. This is actually maybe the draft of the tight end. In real life, it's going to be the draft of the defensive lineman, but in this sim, it's the draft of the tight end, apparently. Cincinnati Bengals got middle linebacker Ben Davis from Alabama with pick 27 in the first round, 79 overall with normal development trait. Not a bad pick there to be the eventual leader of that defense. The Buffalo Bills got Benito Jones, the defensive tackle from Ole Miss, 78 overall. Comes with normal development trait, 93 strength. This guy is an absolute powerhouse. They also had nice picks up, a 5th round 70 overall corner and a 5th round 70 overall tight end. Jumping to the Denver Broncos, they got Parker Braun, the right guard from Georgia Tech, 75 overall with a normal development trait. Very solid for the pass to keep up Paxton Lynch, who I assume is the starting quarterback there, be it Paxton Lynch or Trevor Siemian. They also got a 70 overall linebacker there in the 3rd round. Maybe actually not. Considering how many draft picks they had, not a spectacular draft from the Denver Broncos. Looking at the Cleveland Browns, the pick that we wanted, they got Kareem Orr, the corner from Arizona State, 78 overall with normal development trait, that 93 speed, 87 zone coverage. He's a speedster. Can play inside and outside. Maybe a little more versatility than what we got, but a great pick there for the Cleveland Browns. What did I say here? Bengals. I think I might have said the Browns got this Ben Davis. I might have got mixed up. Just in case I did, the Bengals got Ben Davis. Just so people are like, oh, shit on me in the comments. In the second round, they got this guy, Christian German. Didn't modify him, but a 76 overall wide receiver from the University of Auburn, as we can see, is that 96 acceleration. Mother of God. Catching's kind of low. This is a field separator, a 70 overall corner in the third round, a 71 overall center in the sixth round, and a 72 overall defensive tackle. I was actually looking at this guy, Josh Griffin from Rhode Island, 72. So that's a good draft there from the Cleveland Browns. Looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the 8th pick in the first round. They got Jonah Williams, a left tackle from Alabama. Will debatably be the top offensive lineman coming out from this draft class. Normal development trait, good against the pass, predominantly. Then in the second round, they got Benny Snell Jr., the running back from Kentucky, 79 overall. Normal development trait, get the good speed. Trucking probably should be up a little bit more. He's kind of like a bowling ball type running back. But nice to see. I mean, obviously, Florida Gators usually beat up on the Kentucky, what are they, the Wildcats? I don't know. I don't even know what they are because I know they're just basketball school. But Florida usually beats up Kentucky. Nice to see them actually have a decent player. And then in the fifth round, they got not the quarterback, but the safety, Lamar Jackson from the University of Nebraska, 73 overall, when he has that normal development trait. Good, long, lengthy type player. Moving on to the Arizona Cardinals. I hate this glitch in Madden, but whatever, you have to work with it. In the first round, picked on, they got Jacob Eason, the top quarterback from this year's draft class, 78 overall from the University of Georgia, with a normal development trait, which is kind of surprising, but he really has that NFL-like size, and the 92 throw power certainly helps with that. 89 short accuracy is not bad at all. But then I guess in the second round, they got after quarterback again. They got Jalen Hurts, the quarterback from Alabama, 78 overall, a normal development trait. One of those guys, not a lot of people are confident he can make that transition to the next level. We have to wait and see how he continues to develop at the University of Alabama. But this is kind of like a reverse of what the Redskins did with RG3. They got the pocket passer, and then they got the speed dual threat quarterback, whereas RG3 and then Kirk Cousins was kind of the opposite. But, man, I hate that shit. They better fix that for Madden 18. I'm sick and tired of teams getting two quarterbacks. Happened last year, too, with the Miami Dolphins, I believe. And then you wait till I see the Dolphins again. Then they actually got a decent left tackle here, 71 overall in the sixth round. Looking at the San Diego Chargers left guard, they got Nate Herbig, the left guard from Stanford, 73 overall with a normal development trait. And they also do that. Fullbacks kind of are a throwaway because they are, decently easy to draft, but still a 75 overall fullback in the fifth round and a 70 overall corner in the sixth. Looking at the Kansas City Chiefs with their first round pick 28. They got Deontay Anderson, the free safety from Ole Miss, 81 overall. Maybe one of the best value picks of this year's draft class. Only normal development trait, but has that height weight that you kind of look for. Decent speed, that 87 zone coverage is very good. Looks like that kind of guy. 81 man and 87 zone. This guy probably could play a little bit of corner as well, depending on where they need to put him. They got a 70 overall defensive end in the second round, a 70 overall guard in the fourth round. So definitely, not a super strong draft, but a great pick here for the Kansas City Chiefs. Moving on to the Indianapolis Colts, they got what I think might be the second coming of Ndamukong Suh in terms of college prospect, and that is Ed Oliver, the defensive tackle from Houston, 83 overall, superstar development trait. This guy here is a freak of nature. Play the run, play the pass. He can do it all. I still think he needs to bulk up just a little bit, but I mean, he's a freshman. He's gonna get a little bit bigger. He's still like 290, kind of built more like a 3-4 defensive end for the pros, but I think he's going to continue to add and bulk up and will be a very serviceable 4-3 D tackle. I think the Colts run a 3-4, so it's kind of surprising, but he's a beast, man, and along with Dexter Lawrence is the top draft pick of this class. And they also add a guy, we didn't edit him, Rashad Buggs, a 75 overall wide receiver in the second round. Good draft here, at least in the top end for the Indianapolis Colts. Went on the Dallas Cowboys, they got Donnie Corley, the wide receiver from Michigan State, 76 overall with the 31st pick. Quick development trait, 6'2", 212 with 91 speed. I mean, this guy here looks pretty goddamn good and will be ready to take over for Dez Bryant when that time has come. They got a 70 overall tight end in the third round and a 73 overall punter in the last round. So, I mean, a lot of picks there, not a lot of substance, but a good wide receiver pick here for the Dallas Cowboys. Look at the Miami Dolphins. They got Greg Little, the left tackle from Ole Miss, 78 overall. The pair, I think Larry Tunsil still should be there. So an Ole Miss team, Greg Little debatably with the top tackle coming out of this draft class. Superstar development trait, looking pretty good. But then in the second round, they got Shea Patterson, the quarterback from Ole Miss. And I'm pretty sure last year they got first round quarterback, second round quarterback, and this year they got third round or another second round quarterback. I think the AI drafting needs to improve significantly for Madden 18, but there's Shea Patterson. They get a 77 overall running back in the third round. We didn't edit him. Rashad Carpenter, looking pretty damn good with a normal dev trait. They got a 70 overall corner in the third round, so it looks like a decent draft here from the Miami Dolphins. Moving on to my Philadelphia Eagles, they got Christian Fulton, the corner from LSU, 78 overall, comes with normal development trait. We all know how the Philadelphia Eagles like to draft their LSU corners. And they also got a Brookins here. We didn't edit him. Darby Brookins, the center from Ohio State, 74 overall with super dev trait. Nice. Good pick here for the Eagles. The back end of the draft was pretty shit, to be honest. Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons with the first round pick there. They got Nick Bosa, the brother of the most overpowered defender in Madden this year, Joey Bosa from Ohio State, 76 overall with slow development traits, so maybe not follow the path of his big old brother, but still a decent pick there for the Falcons and not much else. Moving on to the San Francisco 49ers with the sixth pick in the first round, they got Caleb Kelly, the very talented outside linebacker from the University of Oklahoma, 79 overall with normal development trait. This guy's going to make a lot of plays for them on the defensive side of the ball. With the second round pick, they got Tavian Feaster, the running back from Clemson, taking over for Wayne Gallman there, 79 overall with quick development trait, very good, well-rounded back, solid speed, high carrying, and trucking. They also get a 74 overall center here, Rich Sheets. That's a great name. He'd be sleeping on that Persian friggin' satin. You know, those rich sheets. Then they got in the third round Jesse Bates, actually a real good prospect, real life prospect from Wake Forest, 73 overall with a quick development trait. They also get a 72 overall guard in the third round. Lots of picks here. I guess overall didn't hit, but I mean, look at those. So first three picks are going to be guys that should contribute good minutes to them as rookies. Looking at the New York Giants with the first round, pick 5, they got Van Jefferson, the wide receiver from Ole Miss, 78 overall with a normal development trait, 94 speed. Maybe that's a little bit too generous for Van. Looking at the running back spot, they got Mike Weber, the running back from Ohio State, second round, 81 overall. Tremendous pick up here for the Giants. Quick development trait to go along with that. He's a great speed back with tremendous vision. They got a 71 overall safety in the third round. They got a 74 overall tight end in the sixth round. So tremendous draft here from the New York Giants. And then finishing up here with my Huskies. Most of these guys are real prospects. Some I just, couldn't really find. Now you're starting to stretch who's going to be good, who's going to be bad. But we try to use as many real prospects as possible. So with the second pick in the first round, we got Jack Jones, the corner from USC, is projected to be the top cornerback, debatably with Kareem Orr this year's draft class, 79 overall, and he does have the normal development trait. We got the second pick in the second round. We got Shaq Quarterman, the very big hitting linebacker from the University of Miami. Probably if I really want to tweak with him too much, I didn't want to affect his overall, like I said. I just tried to keep all the editing cosmetic only. He probably would have a lot more hit power. Very similar to what you see with Denzel Perryman for the Chargers there. Second round, we got, sticking with my Gator bias, we got Felipe Franks, 76 overall with normal development trait as Sam Darnold's backup here, just in case things ever go awry or he gets hurt. I feel confident with Felipe Franks coming in. Second round pick, 21, we got McTevin Agin, the defensive end from the University of Arkansas with that superstar development trait. I mean, not only does he have one of the best names in college football right now, but hopefully he can make some plays for us, even though not necessarily a scheme fit. We'll see what we can do. We also got Mack Wilson here, pick 27 in the second round, 76 overall, outside linebacker for Alabama. Really good playmaker. Everyone knows him. He's a big-time hitter. His power probably should be up. He made a bunch of big tackles for Alabama on special teams because obviously he's a really young player in real life. But the sky is the limit for this guy, and we needed outside linebackers. We needed a tone center. He might actually start out for us as our starting left outside. Maybe I had to swing him to the right outside slot. We kept Kane Stevenson as his 73 overall. He was a 75 overall center, but I think he may be better for us as a right tackle. We get Tavita Roby, 72 overall. We got Dakota Light, 74 overall. Decided to keep him as is. But then we modified this. Demetris Robertson, the wide receiver from Cal, 75 overall, is regarded as debatably the top wide receiver in this year's draft class. But as you can see, when we're looking through the wide receivers that we already modified, none of them had the superstar development trait. So maybe, I think the highest wide receiver was 76, 77. We have Robertson who's 75, but he's the only guy with that superstar development trait, so we're going to make him the top wide receiver. Just assume maybe he had an ACL injury, maybe something off field, but we added him again. Very similar to how we added Richie James last year, but I'm very, very pumped about having Demetris Robertson. And, even though we did sign Brashad Perriman as a free agent, I think we make Robertson one of our starting wide receivers, and then we left everything else as is. So there you go, guys. That is the summary of the 2018 draft class. As always, like I said, I'm trying to strive to bring the most realistic connected franchise modes, at least in terms of using prospects that you can go. You may be asking yourself, how many more years are you going to have realistic prospects? I have 3 more years. 2019, 2020, and 21 draft class all made up. So hopefully we can, well, maybe not hopefully, but if before the end of this Madden 17 season we hit that, we will hit that with real prospects. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So that will do it for this episode. Next week, or well, not next week, next episode anyways, will be the summary of the preseason plus the opening week game. I think we did enough. Maybe, let me know. Do you think we did enough to improve this very bad 3-13 roster? But that will do it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time, C4 saying, if you're new, hit that subscribe button if you like this kind of content. Hit the like button. This took me for fucking forever to edit all these prospects. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you want to just shoot the shit. And until next time, C4 saying peace out.